Okay, welcome back to day 250. Oh boy. My head hurt so bad I took 4 Motrins, and thank you so much. It's finally going away a little bit. It's much better. It has been hours of me being in pain, so it got really bad that I almost started to cry. I thought I was going to throw up, but I didn't, and I didn't cry. And just when that, really, that urge to cry happens, but you don't cry. No, that happened because my dog whined, and it was so bad that I thought I couldn't take it. So I just spent the last 2 hours searching, or an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. I was trying to search for a thing, not for me, but for someone else, because they're like, hey, can you help me find this? I'm looking for it. I don't even know if it was the right thing that I found, but I found it, the one that I think I saw, and I don't know, it was like a headache where I couldn't do anything, but I was scrolling. Like, it wasn't like I can, like, this was too much because of talking. It's like when you just want to, like, put a hood on and don't look at anything and just, for me, like, go on my phone or, like, not read. Like, I couldn't read any words. I was looking for a photo. So, like, no words, just scrolling. So it was scrolling and scrolling for like 45 minutes to try to find something that I don't even know if it was right or not, but I found, I think, the one that I was looking for, that I knew. Do I know have words? No, I don't have words. Thank you for not asking that, and also not asking it the way I asked it, because that wasn't how it worked. Words. I got my mini sewing machine to work. Works like a beaut. So good, but my head really hurt, so the sewing machine noise hurt so bad. It also says there's a light bulb in it, like what came with the light, but I'm guessing that's broken. I think it would be really helpful, but that was very nice. I poked my finger to the point that it bled. Can you tell? No. I poked my finger and but it was at an angle, and it was like poke and tug up, and then I was like, ooh, and I took it out, and I'm like, is it gone? And then it did. And then I'm always terrified of tinnitus. Nope. Tetanus. I made that joke far too many times to apparently get it correct anymore. Tetanus. But luckily, you know, when you get tetanus, is your jaw freezes, locks. You get lockjaw first. My cat needs out. I really hope you guys could hear the cat meow. That was very funny. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, little light bulb. The problem is, I don't know how I would exchange that little light bulb. I wouldn't know the wattage. I wouldn't know the size. I wouldn't know how to get to it if it's in there. So I don't think I will be doing that. But I sewed up a hem of my shirt that got ripped, like this. This part got ripped for a very long, well, on the bottom of the shirt. And it ripped real big, and it was done like it took longer to put all the needles in to make sure it lines up more than What, sewing machines are great. Can I just say sewing machines are amazing. Yeah, I said it. Highly recommend sewing machines. Get yourself a needle threader and a sewing machine. Like, whoa. Anyways, point is, we went to an area here, and we were near DC, and it was near DC. We went on a day, and we went, and there's a group of, there was like two groups. Young people that look kind of sporty, but yet driving age and stuff. And then be like, can you believe this person already drives? I'm assuming slightly older, maybe 18-ish. And what happened was that there was that group, primarily white girls, only white girls. But I'm like, okay. But I don't think they were related. I think that must have been a separate event, like a separate thing that must have been happening. But then on the other side, of the other group that was there, you can tell they all went together. They had, for me, church group vibes. I know, because I was part of church group vibes. I know, right? Like, church group vibes. That's the vibes I got. And then, but I realized right after church group vibes, I saw a Trump lanyard, Trump hat, like bucket hat, Trump something else, to the point where I don't think they showed up with those things, because I don't think there was like a shirt or anything. It was like all accessories. And I was like, no, wait, maybe one of them was wearing a shirt. Never mind. So maybe it was a Trump event and they brought them. I don't know, because I remember one was saying Trump 2024, and I'm like, no, I can't go through it here. I'm impeached twice, guys. No. But more importantly, I realized that the one with the lanyard had a badge at the end with like this really like weird like glasses and hat, Abe Lincoln. So I'm like, Abe Lincoln? And then I realized that day there was a Trump protest going on, and so I'm like, are you guys coming from DC? So I'm trying to figure out what event they were going to, because they had a badge and multiple of them in their group, but also others. So I thought it was more like in that area, but we're really close to DC technically. So I'm like, could be, or I don't know. So I can't tell what it was. Yeah, they had these lanyards with like Abe Lincoln on it. But they all had Trump things, and they were all so Trump supporting white Republican feel to them, and it disgusted me. And looking up all those events disgusted me, trying to figure out where they were going or where they were coming from. And it was like, well, the worst part is, I'm big of it at this point. I think at this point I was still wearing I think I did. No, I was still wearing my mask because we were spreading out. When we were spreading out, I took my mask off for a little bit and then I put it back on when I just walked around. But I had a drink and we were very far away from each other and from everyone. But then, which I still, but whatever. It was our first outing since literally the beginning of pandemic that at all mask came off. So anyways, I don't know. Was that good or bad? We'll see. But we're vaccinated, so it's fine anyways, technically. But then we went into places and we always like anything too close, like if we were waving through people and stuff. We weren't drinking I drank, so I had a mask on and still try to be away from each other, blah blah. But anyways, the point was that they had very Republican energy, but I think I had my mask off, and I have very expressive face, and what happened was sorry, I keep getting messages. Boop, boop, boop. So I found the thing for them, and they said it's the right thing, so they're really happy. Which is another one. They just keep messaging how they couldn't find them, and so anyway, so what happened is from anyway, so I was looking at. I get it, I'm a saint. Stop messaging me so many times. Go away, I'm filming. But what happened was I wasn't wearing a mask, or maybe I can't remember if I took my mask off yet. If we were going out and there were so many people, I think I had my mask on. But anyways, they walked by, and I'm very expressive though with my eyebrows, and I just went like this. I could feel it because I was trying to read like their shirts and stuff. And again, I have a very liberal hairstyle, as my cousin said. And my sibling has a completely like shaved, barely have stubble all over the head. And apparently one of those Trump people waved at my sibling and were like, and I gave it. I made the nasty face. That was on me. But for context, we were in an area with primarily, like what looked like a primarily black-owned businesses, and you're showing up in Trump gear, bucket hat, lanyard, shirts, that energy. And my sibling's like, my other sibling, my sister, was like, I think we distance ourselves enough from them look-wise, but I hope nobody in that area thought we were going to the same event as them, because that's disgusting. And I'm just like, ooh, I almost lost, I don't know, man, like, not lost it, it's just like, I was, ooh, and then I saw a bunch of people walking around with lanyards, and I'm like, where are you coming from? I'm wondering if it came from like this hotel or that hotel or this convention center or that one or DC completely, and it's not even here. Are they coming from that protest? But then why are there lanyards? I don't know. So I'm just like, oh my god. And apparently that day or the other day or something was the start of a different culture holiday, like religious holiday, not Christianity, so a different holiday. And I'm just like, did you choose that day for the protest because you wanted to take over someone else's holidays? Like, are we so it just and then we couldn't eat anywhere because everything was closed so early, plus it was busy. But oh man. And then here's the thing, I made a joke that one of the restaurants said, like, we serve pride here in Rainbow, and I made a joke that they're serving gay people, in the both sense of like the joke, the serving gay people, as in like thought it was just chicken, gay people, or the opposite, where it's like, oh yeah, we actually even accept gay people, like gay people can't buy food other places. I just made those jokes with my siblings, and then I'm like, I joke, but do you at least one of those older women didn't want to shop at that store? I know for a fact one of them saw that and went, we're not going to that restaurant. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because the fact that I knew and actively had to hang out with a family from my church who, during the Black Lives Matter movement, they actively stopped drinking Guinness because Guinness donated money to Black Lives Matter, like, organizations. Like, the fact that you're going to stop, like, no, I'm all for that. I don't use Amazon. I don't use, like, cheap websites. Like, I want to stop fast fashion in general. I want to stop all of it. I don't want to be part of that. It disgusts me. And I know you're like, aren't you on an iPhone right now? Or smartphone? Yes, I am. And that's part of the problem. I want to put in place things so no one can be slave labor, sweat labor, any of that. I want to put in place that is not okay and that's not all right, and we ain't doing that. That's why I want to take over the government and burn it to the ground. I mean, fix it. But the point was, somewhere, I'll get back to it. I'll circle back. Oh yeah, don't buy from things you don't support. But it's so funny to me that's such an empty and shallow thing as donating to the Black Lives Matter movement, because it's such a small amount for them. It was also a calculated move. They know society they wouldn't lose a substantial amount of business to make or break it. It isn't them standing up for something. It's them realizing that it would get on a good side of a lot of people. Versus, like, other things, like I heard I think it was a jam or jelly company back in the Holocaust was helping out Jewish kids and families despite society. They were helping out kind of against what like some people were thinking and stuff. And it just, like, this isn't a bold statement, this isn't a bold thing. It was a calculated move by a company, and the fact that society deems it, like, they deem society to be pro Black Lives Matter to the point that they deem it okay to do is fantastic. I don't know the point of this, besides that's a reflection of the society and not a company. But also it's funny to me because, like, if a company, see, that's the difference, is like Chick-fil-A is actively hurting LGBT lives, like children's lives, with their donations every year, versus if McDonald's had a Pride commercial. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're not giving thousands of dollars per year to Pride and to, like, the Trevor Project or LGBT causes. You know what I'm saying? It's empty gesture, actively harming. Like Amazon, actively harming, blah blah blah, actively harming. Not kind of an empty gesture. I mean, that was a donation, but, like, other people were like, Oreos tweeted out trans people exist. It was like, that's a calculated gesture. It isn't any donations. It wasn't anything like that to my knowledge. It was an empty gesture. I'm not going to go out and buy Oreos now. I'm not going to eat Oreos anyways because I'm gluten-free. Gluten-free Oreos suck. Okay, bye.